Start na ako. Hi everyone, my name is Julini Barcoma together with my group mate, Lorin Clemente. We are going to discuss about the law of food service. Next slide please. Introduction. Food that is being held for service is at risk for time, temperature abuse, and gross contamination if your operation holds food. You must make policies that reduce the risk, focus on time and temperature control, but don't forget about protecting the food from contamination. In some cases, you might be able to hold food without controlling its temperature. Next slide please. Holding food. Holding food is a point of which maintaining proper temperature can ensure that a food safe to eat. Cooks and servers must know the proper temperature for holding food, monitor the holding process, and record temperature of food during holding. Next slide please. Guidelines for holding food. Food covers and sneeze guards cover food and install sneeze guard to protect food from contaminants. So, sneeze guard for goods pet guards are used to protect food from the consumer during self-service but not mandated where food service personnel is doing the serving. The key issue is staff education and training regarding how food is protected, transportation, and service of food to ensure it is safe. So for temperature, hold TCS food at the correct internal temperature. Hold hot food at 135 degree Fahrenheit or 57 degree or higher. This will prevent pathogens such as Bacillus cereus from growing to unsafe levels. So, by controlling the temperature, you can control the levels of bacteria with spoiled foods and cause illnesses. Heat kills bacteria, while cold temperature prevent it from reaching harmful events. For thermometer, use thermometer to check a food internal temperature. So, the essential to use a food thermometer when you cooking meat, poultry, and egg. These products to prevent undercooking, verify that food has reached a safe minimum internal temperature and consequently prevent foodborne illnesses. For the last one is the time. We need to check food temperature at least every 4 hours if it is okay or not. Next slide please. Holding food without temperature control. Cold food. You can hold food without temperature control for up to 6 hours if you meet these conditions. Hold the food at 41 degree Fahrenheit or 5 degrees Celsius or lower before removing and from refrigeration. Label, hindi pa tapos na patay. Label the food with the time you remove it from refrigeration and the time you must throw it out. The discard time on the label must be 6 hours from the time you remove the food from refrigeration. So, Cold food can be held without temperature control for up to 6 hours. If removes held of 41 degree Fahrenheit or 5 degrees Celsius or lower before removing it from refrigeration, and before removing it, 70 degree Fahrenheit or 21 degrees Celsius during service. And it's important to label the food during upon receipt with the time it must discarded. The discard time is 6 hours after the food been removed from the temperature control. Next slide, please. For the hot food, you can hold food without temperature control for up to 4 hours. Oh, if you meet these conditions, hold the food at 135 degree Fahrenheit or 57 degrees Celsius or higher before removing it from temperature control. Label the food with the time you must throw it out. The discard time on the label must be 4 hours from the time you remove the food from temperature control. So by controlling the food temperature, you can control the levels of bacteria which spoil food and cause illnesses. Heat bacteria, while cold temperatures slow down the growth of bacteria, prevent it from reaching harmful levels. Next slide, please. Serving food. The biggest threat to food that is ready to be served is contaminations. Your kitchen and service staff must know how to serve food waste that keep it safe. Dining rooms, self-service areas, off-site locations, and vending machines all have specific guidelines that staff must follow. While this is important, food that is plated and presented well, it is more attractive to customer and can set the tone for the entire restaurant. When you're presenting plating, can draw attention to the specific ingredients in a dish, whether the aesthetic or practical reasons to get the attention of our customers. Next slide, please. Kitchen staff guidelines. Next slide. Wear hand contact with food. Food handlers must wear single-use gloves whenever handling ready-to-eat food. As an alternative, food can be handled with spatulas, tongs, dish sheets, or other utensils. So for wear hand contact with food, wear hand contact is handling of ready-to-eat food without any barriers such as a gloves or utensils between the employees' hands and the food items. Ready to eat food without additional preparation to achieve food safety. Clean and sanitize utensils. Use separate utensils for each food item. Clean and sanitize them after each serving task. If is using utensils continuously, clean and sanitize them at least once every 4 hours. So, after using those utensils, it's important to clean and sanitize equipment and surfaces, drain, dry, and stored so as well to prevent bacterial growth. So, serving utensils. Store serving utensils and the food with handle extended above the rim to the container. You can also place them on a clean and sanitized food contact surface. Spoon or scoops used to serve foods such as ice cream or mashed potato can be stored under running water from 130 135 degree Fahrenheit or 57 degrees Celsius. So while our customer are waiting for their food, serve the beverage first, that is entertain and don't get mad to the customer so they can wait the food for our service. That's all. Thank you.